Nolan is obsessed with time, with folding and bending time. Tenet, Memento, Interstellar, Dunkirk. Dunkirk? Yes, Dunkirk is also about time. Not so much in the content of the story, but in the form of the film, the editing and the shooting. And not only Dunkirk, Inception is also about time. In this video, I will explain how time plays an essential role in both these movies, and how Nolan shapes time in Wars and Dreams. Before I go on, spoiler alert. There will be major spoilers of Dunkirk and Inception. In my last video, I explained how Memento has this curved structure, and I use it to explain Interstellar and Tenet. Nolan is obsessed with that structure. There is even a visual representation of it in Inception, but Nolan doesn't use that structure in Dunkirk and Inception. In these movies, it's more about the passage of time. It isn't about the future and past overlapping one another, but of different time velocities overlapping one another. Interstellar also had that. Near a black hole, time goes slower. In Inception, it's pretty much the same thing. Time goes slower in a dream. But remember that Inception came before Interstellar, so Nolan is actually repeating this idea in Interstellar. In Inception, Nolan deals with time in the content of the story, and also a bit in the form and the music. In Dunkirk, however, time is normal. Nolan doesn't bend time in the content of the story, but in the form. It has a non-linear timeline with 3 stories, each passing at different speeds. Let me explain the structure of Inception first. You could say that Inception has nothing to do with time. Yet the story isn't about time travel or about amnesia, but the movie deals with the passage of time. If you don't remember, in Inception, people can get inside other people's dreams, and when you are inside a dream, time goes slower.
Brain function in the dream will be about 20 times normal. When you enter a dream within that dream, the effect is compounded.
When they're doing their mission, they start on the airplane. That's the first timeline. Then they go inside the first dream, which is the city. It's raining and they get inside a van. Then they go inside another dream, the second level, which is the fancy business building. Then they go inside yet another dream, the third level, which is the fortress in the snow. And then they go one dream further, the fourth level, which is the city in ruins. Now, they said the time passes 20 times slower in the dream. They will spend about 10 hours on the airplane, which gives them a bit more than a week in the first dream. This also means they will have 6 months in the second dream, about 10 years in the third dream, and 200 years in the fourth dream. Nolan uses this overlap of different time speeds to create a peak in tension. As the car is falling the bridge, the elevator is crashing and the fortress is exploding. We have different scenes with different time speeds culminating at the same time. That was the climax. But my favorite scene from Inception is from before the climax. It's the corridor fight. I love that scene in Inception. In that scene, there is a connection between form and content. The content is that there is another dream level, where the car is falling. This causes the gravity in the corridor to keep shifting. The structure of Dunkirk is similar to the structure of Inception, the overlap of different time velocities. There are 3 stories, each with a different time velocity. There is the story of the guy on the beach, this one lasts 1 week, we see days passing. There is the story of the guys on the boat, this one lasts 1 day. And there is the story of the pilot, which lasts 1 hour. Land, sea and air. Up until the middle, the movie has this structure. It shows a scene on the beach, then another in the sea, then another in the air. Each of these timelines has a different velocity and they meet one another. For instance, the first person rescued by the boat was this guy at minute 24. This guy appears on the beach timeline only on minute 44. Towards the end of the movie, the timelines meet one another. Like in Inception, the editing of Dunkirk overlaps the different stories, so they provide a nice rhythm and a climax for the movie. It's interesting that in Dunkirk there was a real pressure of time. Dunkirk might not seem to be about time, but it is. It's about rescuing the troops before the enemies arrive. My favorite scene in that movie is when the pilot runs out of fuel. He keeps flying, soundless, protecting the beach. It's like an angel, like the Holy Spirit hovering over us, watching us. In my last video, I explained the structure of Memento, Interstellar and Tenet. In this one, I explained the Inception and Dunkirk. They're all about time. As I have been saying, Nolan is obsessed with time, a true master in the art of bending time. Maybe that's what makes him such a great director, because cinema is the art of shaping time. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe.